good buffer zone. Stay in the line of the car.
We are on the track.
Eyes are up, get ready to break at 600.
Nice. We're going on the drag strip, and I had to do this course over here that I didn't record, and I got the slowest time the whole group, which is fine. But there's all the cars, they're doing their thing, and we're gonna go do some drag racing. This is the guy we're racing, and I think he's at a 10-2 grip instead of a 9-3, but that's fine.
3, 2, 1, go. And remember we talked about that, I said earlier, first one to get it stopped, so shorter distance is the boss, left lane.
Oh,
Sweet, winner.
oh my gosh, Duran. Look at that. I can't do that. Here's our racer.
Left lane coming out strong. 3, 2, 1, go. We have a drag race. It's on a show for the fans. Coming in hot, bull driver.
We won.
Left lane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was awesome. There's the M5 we drove. Here's another M5. We drove all these cars. Super fun. The drag strip was really fun. I'm really bad at the course. I'm probably going to be really bad at this, like driving on the speedway. But the drag strip was easy, you know, and cool because you get to drive multiple different types of cars. But now we're going to go drive, I think, the M3s on the track, which is going to be pretty cool. So, but there's Duran. We're going to, I guess, the speedway area.
You're like afraid to shut it.
Yeah, open it, man.
Oh my gosh. I think I felt like that in this car all the time.
Oh, whoa. Super light. That's so crazy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pathology. Hope you're all having a good weekend, a good Saturday. Today, I woke up pretty early and went to the Speedway, the Indy Speedway, to the BMW M Experience. And here's my lanyard. See that? I drove this car. I think I drove this car. It was the same color, so I assume it was that car. I don't actually know, but it was a green M3, and it was really fun. I drove a lot of cars, actually. So my friend and I, Duran, we went to the Speedway for this BMW experience, and it was free, which is pretty crazy. And we got there pretty early. You go there, they tell you like how to drive, kind of, and you get in a car and you drive. So it was pretty cool. So I have some footage. The first part of the event I didn't really record because Duran and I got split up, and I had to be in a car with this random guy named Matt. He was really cool, but it was kind of awkward. I was like, Matt, I know we've never met, but I just want to let you know I'm very nervous, and this is stressing me out because I think we drove a BMW. These are all new BMWs. So this is to get people interested in BMWs, and it's to boost their sales because, like, I think they did this with just their normal cars, and they had a 17% return rate. So I assume that means we were talking to the BMW like event people, and they were saying that 17% of people, I think, bought a BMW after they experienced something similar to this. So that's why it's free. I think it's a long-term return, or maybe short-term, I don't know. So anyways, back to being with Matt. Never met this dude. I was like, Matt, I'm super nervous about this because we had to do a road course. I'm like, this is not me. I'm not like a super car driver or anything like that. But it was cool. It was really good to be with him. I'm glad I got paired with him and not someone who was like mega aggressive, because there were some people like hitting low 15s on this course. So it's a 15-second course. The instructor was doing it, I think like 14s. Okay. So just put that in perspective. He's like a professional driver doing it really fast. So I get in the car and I think Matt went first. He was doing like 18 right off the bat. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so bad. I'm like, Matt, I'm so sorry. I don't even know how to put this car in drive. And I didn't know how to put any of the cars in drive. I had, Jerron did it for me almost every time, which I'm so thankful for. So I was getting like 25 seconds on the course. So I'm like 10 seconds slower than what you're supposed to be getting. But there was other people doing that. I mean, there's some people getting like 20. I probably was the slowest, but there's some people got like 20, 19, stuff like that. So I did that. Then my favorite part, we did drag racing. It's pretty crazy that this event was free. So we drove I think I drove, starting out was an X5. That was awesome. It was super surprising how so all of these are M cars besides I think the one I originally did. Anyways, it was super crazy how touchy it was and fast, and Dron was changing all the settings for me and it was making it like extra fast. So very fun. And then we drove an X6 M, I think, and it was very luxurious inside, but it's kind of ugly. So that's my opinion. If you own one, I'm sorry, you have a very luxurious inside of your car. But the outside's a little weird. So then we drove an M2. I did not like the M2 at all. It felt very cheap. It felt kind of weird because I could, we're all drag racing this. So you're hitting like 70 miles an hour, maybe 80, probably 80. And then you got to like stop in a box. So you go as fast as you can and then you slam on the brakes. And that M car, I did not like it. I felt literally just going to the drag strip. I felt every bump in the road. It felt cheap. It was weird. Then we drove a M5, which was my favorite car I drove. It was awesome. It was super fast, super slick looking. I liked it. And I liked how comfy it was. That's my thing. I'm not like I'm not really into fast cars, I think, now that I've driven a few today. And I just like luxurious cars. Like I like luxurious SUVs that are kind of like a boat, that are just very smooth. You know what I mean? So the M5 was awesome. Then I think the last car we drove, or maybe that was the last car we drove an X6 and X5, M2, I don't know. I'm sure we drove another car for the drag strip. And then maybe didn't. Maybe it was just 4. So then we did the track. So I drove on the track and I somehow got in. I was leading like my person. There was like 3 cars behind us or 2 cars behind us. No, maybe it was one or 2. Anyways, you would get in the car and you follow this professional driver. The nice thing was if you've ever done like a driving experience, I never have, but my friend did. And the guy I was with, did, Matt, he said that he went there one time and they're like super strict. And same with Jerron. They're like, they sit in the car beside you or they sit in the seat beside you and they're telling you like, go, go, go. They tell you when to brake, when to hit the gas, when to, everything, like stay close to the lines. Here at the BMW one, they were not like that at all. They give you the whole time, they give you a radio and you just listen to the radio and it's very nice. It was very pleasant. Like you would think, at least my perspective, when I think of like a BMW, I guess I think of like kind of snobby, rude people, not really cars that are made to go fast. I know that's wrong now, but man, those M3s, M5s, it's crazy. And the instructors were like, when we say hit the brake, slam on the brake as hard as you can. And I'm like, are you supposed to do that? But I guess you're supposed to do that. And they're like, this one guy in the meeting, I'm all over the place. But at the beginning of the group, they were like, so will anti-locking brake turn on? Which I don't even know what that means. But the instructor said, no, it will not turn on if you're able to brake the car by slamming on the brake. Basically, this is what he said. If you're able to brake the car by slamming on the brake, I will personally pay my own money to repair the car, and I will give you the car. So he was like, just hit it. Yeah, it was crazy. So I did the first, like everyone does 4 or 5 laps around the speedway. And it was crazy. I was like drawn. This is insane. I don't know if I can keep up with the instructor. So it was fun. It was pretty fun. I was going pretty slow. Another car had to pass me. So, and he was like, stay behind me, because I was in the green car. And I was like, dude, I'm doing my best. This is so crazy because you're like turning. I don't know if it was the speedway. It might have been like it was like a part of the speedway or something. I don't know what it was, but it was a speedway. They just had like made it different because you could go straight away by the stands and stuff. It was really fun. All I say, it was really fun. It exceeded my expectations. I did not like the road course. The first thing I did not like that. No, thank you. No one needs to do that. But the drag strip was fun. And I would say the first couple laps of the speedway was fun. After like my 3rd lap, I was like, I am done with this. I'm getting tired. And that's when the instructor picks up. He's like, okay, we're going as fast as we can. You're going to turn. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. I can't do this. I'm not. So anyways, all I say, I think I got up to 130 miles an hour, maybe faster, 140. And, it was pretty cool. You're not allowed to look at the speedometer. So you just have to go. And because you don't want to crash the car, all of that. What an experience. And then Jerron, my friend, got the fastest time of the morning for the speedway. So he's pretty cool. He did that. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun to be with him. And then we went with the instructor, and at the end of it, he showed us like how you're supposed to do it. So like, it's kind of crazy. These people at BMW that do these events, a lot of them are ex-drivers, or like maybe we're super good at drifting, or at least there's a few drifters there, but they didn't make it super far in their career. You know what I mean? So they might have done like not top 5 or something. And so you have all these instructors here who are super good. So our guy took us out, and he specializes in drifting, and he drifted a little, like for 2 or 3 seconds. But oh my gosh, he like showed us what the car is actually able to do. And I can't even comprehend. We were probably going like 135 miles an hour. And then he would just literally slam on the brakes, the hardest I've ever been in a car that's ever slammed on the brakes. And it would like stop kind of, to the point where you got to take the next turn. So it was very extreme. Everyone was sliding around in the car. So it was fun. All that to say, it was fun. I don't know how I'm going to include all of the videos I took. I'm still processing everything mentally as well. But I will say BMW was super cool, very nice, very different than what maybe you would get at a like place that you would pay a lot of money for to, drive their cars, like in Las Vegas. I think there's a place in Indiana that does it. They're very strict. BMW was like, this is not your car. Just don't crash it. You can go fast. Like, we want you to go fast and really experience the car. And it was super nice. And it was nice not to have an instructor like breathing down your neck, thinking you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing so bad. No, it was good. So was there anything else interesting that day? I mean, one of the guys that was like working for BMW had like a really expensive Rolex on, which I didn't notice, but my friend did. He was like, oh, that's super expensive. It was like a Daytona Rolex. I don't know anything about that, but pretty cool. And then after that, we got food, and that was my day. Emily's watching Ted Lasso. Oh, Emily cleaned up the pantry like crazy. So that was nice. And I helped with that as well. But yeah, she's saying, yeah. I didn't do like a ton. I just threw away a lot of stuff. So, and I went to Costco. It was pretty crazy. That's it. I think that's everything. have you ever been to a like driving experience, not just BMW, but any like where you've paid to drive an exotic car? You know, I guess like for an exotic car, if you're driving something that's like 100, well, you know, the cars we were driving today, I'm pretty sure they're like $100,000 plus car. At least a few were. I think one, I'm sure like the X5, X6 was, you know, extremely expensive. The M5 was expensive. You know, we did not get to drive an M8, which I would have loved to drive, but the like BMW tech people said that the M3s just do a lot better on the track. But also it's a way more expensive car. It's like, I think an M8's like one of their supercars, kind of. But also I think the track that M8s apparently are not as durable. So on a track, but whatever. That's that. I asked the technician, does he prefer an M3 or an M5? And he said he prefers an M3. So he said it's just his style. He likes how they feel on the road. But yeah, that was interesting. You would think he would say the M5. So yeah, and there's a Porsche event coming up, I think. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. You know, I was already super nervous about this BMW thing, but I can only imagine what the Porsche is going to be like. I'm sure that's going to be not, you know, when you're comparing it to like how other companies could be, BMW seems very chill about their car use. I'm sure you can never do anything like this for Ferrari. And if you can, it's going to cost like a ton of money. So there's no way they let that. There's no way they do it for Ferrari. So, but it was cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And if you're still watching this, comment down below. Speedway. Do you like the gas station Speedway? I do. I mean, it's whatever. There was actually a Speedway gas station in the Speedway, and I was like, dude, is the Speedway like partly owned by, is, you know what I'm saying? Like a Speedway partly owned by the Indy, or the Speedway own part of the Indy Speedway? I don't think they do, but maybe they do. I have no idea. I'm sure it's like someone will look it up or something, but I went there. Speedway was cool. There was no food there, which was kind of a bummer. No coffee. So that was that. But I woke up like at 6:30 to get ready. We had to be there at 7:30. So yeah. That's everything. I think that's all I have to say about it. Sorry, that was like a bunch of random stuff about my BMW experience. So, but I like it. Would I own a BMW? Maybe, but again, I would probably, because I like luxury, easy driving cars, probably not. And I know you can get that in BMWs. I would probably rather own a Lexus or a Lincoln, like a Lincoln Navigator or a Lincoln Aviator. Is that what one is? I would like to own that, even over a Tesla. I've been in a few Teslas. I know my friend Chris loves Teslas, but bro, I don't know what it is about them. When I compare them to like a Lexus, it's just, I feel like they're just so much quieter. A Lexus is. A Tesla's like literally quiet because it's a battery thing, but I'm thinking like the road noise. I feel like the Lexus is better. So like a Lexus GX80 or whatever that is, even RX 350. So all that say, I would probably never buy a BMW. Probably. But I do think they're really cool. And I understand why people like them. I mean, they are pretty much like, they're like, I mean, maybe everyone knows this, but they really are like muscle cars. So pretty crazy. But they do break a lot. Yeah. I mean, that's one reason you may not want to own one. I would own a Porsche over a BMW. I like Porsches. I like older Porsches. I really like Porsches from the late 90s. I even like the ones from the like 2005 Ford 2008. So, but I also like the ones from like 1980s. I think they're pretty cool. It's also classy. And I also like older Jaguars, certain ones, green ones. So I like the color green on a car, even though I've never had one. I like the color green and black, and I do like white. And I love a nice brown interior or like a butterscotch interior, always leather. So if I got a green car, I would love to have a nice leather. I do like wow, this is going on forever. Sorry if no one is watching anymore. I do like the Genesis, even though I would never buy a Genesis or a Hyundai. I just probably wouldn't. But I do love the Genesis, and I love the interior of a Genesis. And I think it's very nice because the person that designed the Bentley, I think got poached by Genesis to come over and design it. Which is pretty common. That also happened to Aston Martin. The dude that designed the Aston Martin Vantage got hired by Ford, and Aston Martin was really mad. That's why a couple of your Fords look like Aston Martins. So, okay, that's all. I'm going to go now. Hope you all have a great Sunday morning. Tomorrow's our anniversary. We're probably going to do some fun stuff. And I think we're going to try to go to Milktooth tomorrow. So also, maybe I already mentioned this, there's a firefighter convention in town. Pretty interesting. So there's 30,000 firefighters in downtown Indy. I've never felt safer from a fire, I guess, right? And there's like random fire trucks parked everywhere in Indy. So pretty cool. Well, I'll see you all tomorrow. I hope you all have a great weekend. If no one's told you this today, you are loved and this world's a better place because you are here. You'll see Emily tomorrow. Have a great night, a great morning, great afternoon. Bye.